Hello, fellow citizens of the planet Earth. My name is Richard Silver, and I am nobody. Yet I am everybody. I am with you on this tiny rock we call Earth. I am coming to you from my home in Toronto, Canada. And while I may be from Canada, I hold no strong national, political, or religious beliefs. I've always felt more a citizen of the planet Earth. Let's make no mistake at this point in time. Let's take our heads out of the sand. The people of Italy have issued a warning to the world. You have no idea what is coming, they are saying. Indeed, the situation and the death rates coming out of Italy are sobering. We are at war. It's a war the likes of which we have never witnessed. It's a war we are already losing, and the damage and loss of life will dwarf all previous wars, epidemics, and pandemics. Over the next few weeks, tens, if not hundreds of millions of our species will perish, and the scars to society will linger for generations. I want to offer a global solution to work together and kill this enemy in just 30 days. Grasping the danger and the incredibly fast pace of the battle is particularly hard when our own leaders fail to appreciate the threat before us and the peril that lies ahead. But this invisible enemy is already everywhere, moving rapidly across the globe and leaving massive destruction and death in its path. This is not a foreign enemy, it is our common enemy. It holds no political, religious, racial, or national bias. We all face the same risk. The battleground is now the United States of America. Let's be clear that our enemy has already penetrated its borders weeks ago. It started its stealth spread and already infected tens of thousands without their knowledge, using them as weapons to infect others. It was at the bar last Saturday night, and at church on Sunday morning. And kids, it crashed your spring break and St. Patrick's Day parties without you even knowing. The silent bombs have already begun to explode, overwhelming our hospitals, not just with the old and weak, but the young and healthy. And the bombing will quickly intensify. In January, the battleground was China. They fought and successfully defeated the enemy. Today, there were no new cases in Wuhan. But the virus did not simply die out there. The Chinese people fought and won. Here in Western society, our leaders have seemingly accepted defeat. Yes, flattening the curve is critical to not overwhelm our hospitals. But this is just slowing the inevitable infection of at least half the population. But there is still a solution. Our invisible enemy is weak without using our bodies as hosts. On its own, it can literally be killed with soap. This and social distancing are our best weapons against our enemy. However, once in your body, no amount of soap or alcohol can kill it. Fortunately for most of us, we can literally win this war from our homes, our backyards, and our balconies. And it brought tears to my eyes when I saw the Italian people reveling in this simple but effective tactic of staying at home, even singing from their balconies. The people of Wuhan also chanted, "Add more oil," or "Keep up the fight," in solidarity. And the Spanish, now also in lockdown, are chanting words of support for healthcare workers. The real battleground will be our hospitals. To win, every citizen must be enlisted. We still have time. We have the technology. Let's come together as a planet and as a people to defeat our common enemy. It will surely bring us together like never before. The awareness in the months ahead that we could have fought and won will be too tragic for many of us to bear. I am sure that we do not want our children to grow up in this world we are about to enter. We all have a responsibility to ensure that the world is a safe and beautiful place for our children and our children's children. Our governments and leaders have failed us. At the least, they have not fully informed us of the threat before us. At worst, they have lied to us. And they can no longer help us unless we help ourselves. Perhaps some leaders realize that unless everybody in the world cooperates, we can't kill it. Perhaps they think it's already too late. Yet it wasn't too late for China, even with 100,000 people infected. But it did not blow over. It did not die off. They killed it. To win, we must first understand our common enemy, a stealth killing machine the likes of which we have never seen. It uses us to kill us. It needs us to survive. but new research shows that it can live on surfaces for days and in the air for hours. But mostly it's hiding in people. It can lurk in our bodies for weeks without us even knowing while we interact with those around us. It exploits how we gather, how we touch each other, how we shake hands, how we kiss and hug and interact. In Italy, even with an all-out fight and a complete shutdown, our enemy is killing up to 7% of those infected. Globally, we can expect greater than 50% of the population will eventually become infected, even if we flatten the curve. In January, the battleground was China. Today it is Europe, and tomorrow it is America. Not tomorrow in a month, tomorrow now. It's already in our midst. We must stop its advance today. We must shut down the planet for just 30 days. Had we done this just 1 week ago, we would have saved thousands of lives. If we don't do it now, we will lose millions more. We must not surrender to this invisible enemy. We must not accept defeat. We must fight together as a species, as human beings, in unison. The plan is simple. Don't panic. Join the fight and stay home for 30 days. Close all borders and travel internationally and domestically. I realize this will be a great hardship for many, and we will need to help each other to get through it. But the alternative is a much worse scenario. The time to act is this minute. There's no more time for debate, no time for blame. If we stick to the plan, soon life will begin to return to normal. We have set up a website at globalvillage.org to help spread this message and provide a hub for those who've been infected or been in close contact with somebody infected to report, so we can contact everyone affected and eradicate this virus. The site will be a not-for-profit entity, and any information you provide will be kept confidential. We have no interest in profiting from our efforts. We just want to save lives and spare our children from this horror. This war will be won or lost in days and weeks, not in months or years. We are witnessing in real time a change to the world so profound, all of humanity will be impacted by the events that will soon be impossible to avert. If we don't act with urgency, the scars will last for generations. What will we tell our children? That we simply followed our misguided leaders? That we couldn't simply act as one people to accomplish this singular goal? The next 30 days will test our resolve to win this war. As loved ones become sick, there will be no hospital visits. They will die alone. There will be no funerals, as those in attendance will only infect others. But together, we could begin to taste victory in a mere 30 days. The only path of certainty is to shut down the planet. Even with complete lockdown, Italians still go outside, alone and in pairs. They walk their dogs, they sing from their balconies. But mostly the streets are empty and the newspapers are filled with obituaries. But the air is cleaner than ever. The canals of Venice are clearer than ever. And it's obvious that this global reset will put a new perspective on how we can better treat the environment of this tiny blue dot we call home. Rather than defeat us, our common enemy can unite us. It is still not too late to avoid the worst. We can and must stop the chain of spread. If we truly all work together, there is still hope we can win this war. Good luck, and may the power of all of mankind come together to save us and save our planet for future generations. Let's work together and stay apart. Please spread the word, not the virus. Thanks.